So who should read Proud Leadership?
Great question. Initially I said I wrote it for members of the LGBTQ community, and that was where I wrote the first draft. But my editor, I remember she, of course, the second person in the universe to read my book, and we were having the first meeting. And so I'm in a coffee shop in downtown Orlando when we could do that and be in coffee shops. And I had my date with Heather, the editor, and she calls me, and I'm like nervous. I'm like a school kid, like going to the principal's office. I'm like, oh. And she's like, okay, Steve, are you sitting down? I'm like, yes, I have my coffee. She's like, okay, I am a white, cisgendered, straight woman. I am not your target audience. This is the book I wanted in my MBA program when we talked about leadership. I'm like, whoa, tell me why. And so she talked about, it's very research. I didn't invent these concepts. Some of the top researchers I cite in there because they're doing awesome work, but it's through my lens. And it's, I'm an academic. I have a doctorate. I've written that damn term paper thing. I've written lots of journal articles. I hate writing like an academic. I think there's good stuff, but you throw off people because they don't want to consume it. So I put on my marketer and edutainment hat, and there's lots of good dad jokes in here, good and bad. There's lots of queer humor that even straight folks will get. Like when I have a chapter subtitle called "Storytelling Like Tori Spelling," people laugh and like, okay, that's cheeky funny. Or when I'm talking about mentorship, either you're go find your RuPaul or you need to gay it forward, depending on where you're approaching your leadership awesomeness. So I do cheeky things like that, and my ally friends all get it. The audiobook has been fun. We just launched the audiobook a couple weeks ago, and I did it in my voice for a couple reasons. But people were just like, "Yeah, no one else can do the dad jokes like you." I'm like, "Yes!" So
Totally.
I really think it's anybody who wants to be even more awesome in their leadership, especially around these 6 competencies, will get value out of the book.
Yeah, I would absolutely want you to read it. I think it would be a lot of fun because it's different, especially with your inflection and your passion that you have around that as well.
So, Ryan, can I tell you a quick story about the audiobook? Oh, John, I'm sorry, look at your last name. So I was, my publisher said you do the audiobook like the year of the original book. It's like kind of pushes it, makes it more timely, all that good stuff. So that was always my goal was, Pride Leadership came out at just about a year ago, and it came out in June. That totally pun intended. See, bad dad jokes. So I was working, and this was in February. I started working with an audio producer, and we were having the conversations, and it's right when COVID was kind of hitting. And so the way an audiobook works now is you get online, the engineer and then myself, and I have the fancy mic and I can kind of do that. And so we started doing it, but there was so much internet traffic, and sound files are very sensitive to traffic, that it kept dropping like words here and there. And so we tried a couple times, and he's like, "You're going to have to do it on your own. I know you have the skill. I already had the software." And so he's like, "You just find a quiet place in your house and you do it." I'm like, okay. So of course, the quietest place in my house to read a book to myself for 65 plus hours is the closet. And so I jokingly said that I read my gay leadership book for 65 plus hours in the closet. And so that's just a really awesome anecdote.